What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 14 of the CBR Show. That's right, it's December 19th. Hopefully you have your Christmas shopping done. And with me, as always, is Bill, here to talk about sports, entertainment, and we don't really have a script today, so it's going to be wild. Bill,
Flying by the
welcome.
seat of our pants.
That's right. I mean, we had to squeeze this in. It's busy. I'm shopping. You're shopping. I don't know why they're talking about a recession. Everybody's out there spending money.
Spend that cash.
Spend that money, yo. Spending them FanDuel's bets.
So I get
paying attention.
my money gun.
Yeah,
What?
we were. I was killing it on the FanDuel's and the DraftKings with the parlays and teasers, only to have the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott screw me over in overtime. And it blew up my parlay, and there went all my credibility to all our followers and fans that bet like we bet.
That's what you get for betting on the Cowboys.
Well, every time I bet on the Cowboys, they screw me. However, I did have a parlay that I was able to tease 6.5 points to the Cowboys, and that got me some money.
So we had a win.
Yeah, so it's whatever. But anyway,
I
I had an 8-0 run. It was actually up to 10-0 prior to the Cowboys game, and then I think the Cardinals didn't cover either, so it didn't really matter. But we were hot. We were hot for a minute. Anyways,
You never leave a table on a heater. What's that from?
no, now it's over. But
Hangover.
and also my fantasy football season is over. I don't know. Are you playing fantasy football? But one and
I
done.
quit due to being terrible. But that sucks, man.
I
You
know,
didn't make no playoffs for you?
I made the playoffs. Number 2 overall.
Oh.
Strong finish to the season. Just didn't show up yesterday.
Anything can happen.
That's right. Any given Sunday. So, with that said, it was a long day of sports watching. I did bet on Argentina to win. I don't know if you watched the World Cup, but it might have been the best sports championship I've ever seen. It was
crazy.
Fantastic. It had everything. It had everything besides fights.
Drama, action, Argentinians going bonkers.
Yeah, I put a video up of the city going nuts when they won the World Cup. Someone shared it on Twitter. I stole it from there, put it up on our YouTube account, and it's pretty wild. The whole city is vibrating.
Yeah.
With the championship.
That'd be a fun place to be, I think. You never know with soccer fans. It could be your death place. Who knows?
Yeah, you might die there.
But I think if they're celebrating, you're going to be all right.
Yes, they're minimal couch burning.
Exactly. Speaking of that exact game you just mentioned, the rapper Drake placed a bet on Argentina, $1 million, but he didn't win because it only counts for normal time, not overtime.
That burnt me in the Morocco game.
Did you know that when you bet?
I didn't realize it when I bet. You have to go and say to advance, not just the little fine print. 90 minutes.
You're like Donovan McNabb, not knowing that there were ties in. Did you ever hear about that?
You know what? I want to talk about something that I noticed the other day watching. What game was it? It was the Patriots were playing somebody. Maybe the Bills. Was the Patriots-Bills game where we predicted who would win. We were right there. But the thing that really bothered me was Aguilar, former Eagle. He is awful. He is awful. Now, he did one good thing during the game. He noticed that his teammate. He noticed that his teammate was suffering from a head injury or a concussion, seemed a little woozy, so he stopped the play. But But he also stopped a lot of other plays just by not catching the ball.
Maybe he should go to nursing.
Yeah, maybe.
He was not great here. He left and had one great year. As you know, we talked about he got made fun of on the news here for dropping balls. On the news by a Good Samaritan.
New on the news.
And then, he went somewhere else. He had a decent season, and then it all fell apart, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, there's been a lot of, there's a lot of football news we could go over. I guess, how about this? We'll just keep it simple. Since we have one game to talk about since we're late in recording this week, but that is the Green Bay Packers are playing the Rams of Los Angeles. The spread is 7.5. Green Bay's at home. Weather conditions are unfavorable for a warm weather team. What do you think? Is Baker Mayfield going to pull some magic out of his hat again, or will Green Bay be too much for old Baker? 7.5 points. What do you got, Bill?
I think Baker comes back down to earth like he always does.
Yeah, I think
You know.
I agree with you. I think Baker got lucky because the Raiders suck and their defense is horrible. You and I think, could go out there and at least have one decent drive against the Raiders.
Not with this shoulder.
So with that said, I'm going Green Bay. I think I'll take Green Bay 7.5, but I might hold off and see if it drops down to 7.
7.5.
7's a lot.
Let's go for it, though. I don't have confidence in Baker.
I got something in my eye. I don't know what it is. Every time, You ever get that thing in your eye that you just can't get out?
No, I get it out, man. I'm a man of action. I get it out.
Well, good for you.
I don't dawdle with it.
Some of us have eye stigmatisms that we can't get,
Yeah, I hear you.
Anyways, World Cup football. I want to talk about why I hate Major League Baseball now. I don't know if you noticed, Bill. I don't know if you noticed, but there were some big money signings in this off season. Shortstops alone, this is going to blow your mind. Shortstops alone, Correa, Trey Turner, Dansby Swanson, and Bogarts, all their contracts combined over $1 billion.
And then they say, right? And then they say, oh, these athletes deserve it because people come to see them and blah, blah, blah. Well, why did ticket prices keep going up? Because we keep doing these contracts.
How is this sustainable? Pretty soon the only people making money are going to be professional athletes and no one else will make money.
This is why
there needs to be a salary cap in baseball. And it has to happen because they are going to ruin the sport.
Yeah.
You're going to have 4 good teams that are always competing, and all the other guys are just scrapping away at it.
Murph, football players back in the 70s used to have other jobs.
I know. Johnny Unitas and those guys used to work around the neighborhood in Baltimore. Our Donovan owns a liquor store near me.
Aren't you mean Joe Green? Can you imagine?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, we're going to need you to come in a little early on Sunday. I know you got a game and all, but if you could leave at halftime. Listen, Billy got sick, and we need you to cover his shift.
Priorities, Joe. Priorities.
Who's paying you more, Joe? The packing plant or the Steelers? It's us, the packing plant.
Yeah, it's you guys. You have benefits.
Yeah, they're not giving you benefits. They don't care about CTE. We do.
They didn't know what CTE was.
No. They thought you were calling them something dirty when you said CTE back then.
They thought it was good for you, banging your head.
Yeah. Do we go back to leather helmets? Does that stop CTE or does that just increase CTE?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if you took some of their equipment off, would they bang heads less? I have no idea.
I don't know. There's got to be some math in there somewhere. Science. Oh, buddy, I don't know, man. There's been a lot. There's just been so much going through my mind these last couple days. I saw the most bizarre picture, and that was Donald Trump's son-in-law and Elon Musk sharing a suite at the World Cup, and that just blew my mind yesterday. I don't even know what to think about that.
Elon's everywhere, man.
Dude, that guy's going to get killed. He's going to get killed. Somebody's going to kill him. Somebody's going to kill him.
I don't know why he bought Twitter, man. To me, Twitter's like almost nothing. It's just a bunch of people, I don't see the value. Let me just say that. But I guess he knows way more than I do, supposedly.
I mean, he did build rockets and electric cars, but yeah, Twitter has always been like the little, brother of social media. Like, it had its brief moment, but I do like Twitter. I do use Twitter. I use it for checking updates on different breaking news things, maybe some mostly player injuries, stuff about the stock market. Bitcoin.
I've never really.
I love me some Bitcoin, so I'll be looking on that Bitcoin's news on there. But yeah, man, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you think Elon Musk is the good guy, and then you see that, and then you're like, I don't even know who. It's like plot twist. You know what I mean? Like, what is really going on? He's got a poll out. Not to cut you off, but we're off script today, so I'm just going to keep babbling until you shut me up.
Go for it.
He put a poll out that says, I will abide by this poll should I step down as CEO of Twitter. Yes or no?
That's like when these YouTubers, my son's watching, if this doesn't happen, I'll delete my YouTube channel. I'm like, they're not going to delete their YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was already planning on stepping down, and he's
Maybe he
already.
just wants to. Yeah, he just wants to step down.
I mean, Twitter's a wild place, dude. I like it. I do like it because it's kind of like a free for all, but like at the same time, like all that stuff that came out in the Twitter tapes. Like, not to make this a political show, but like there's some crazy shit happening on in our politics. Way worse than what we thought. Pay attention, people. Truth is out
Wake
there.
up.
Fox Mulder was on to something.
Yeah, the truth is out there.
Yeah. Trust no one. I don't even. Bill's a bot. He's not even real. We've never even met. I picked him up on Fiverr. I said, "Can I get a co-host for a show for $5?" And Bill's a robot.
I have somebody else when it says, "Are you a robot?" I have somebody else around that clicks it.
It's just a ripped-off human hand that clicks.
Westworld. You just reminded me of Westworld that went from pretty good to just like I just stopped watching. That's another Walking Dead, Westworld. I'll stop watching the show. The older I get, the more I'm like, boop, you're dead to me.
All right, yeah, I got to talk about a show that I watched over the last couple weeks that I just really wasn't into, but I just kind of stuck with it to see how it ended. And then the ending was awesome. Like it was wild, and it was kind of worth the ride.
All right, can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead, guess.
Because I guess I'm going to guess
not
wrong.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Jack Johnson's Rudolph. Do you have HBO Max?
I do.
Is it on HBO Max?
It is.
I'm watching. Is there a color and a flower in the name? Is there a flower in it? I haven't seen the ending yet. I'm watching it. I'm kind of like, my buddy has been on me about it, right? So it's good. I should keep watching?
Yeah, it's all worth it for like the last show. Like all the stuff in between, I'm just like, it just makes you feel, ugh.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh.
And their problems are a little too realistic sometimes, even though the show's like far-fetched a little bit. I'm like, oh, this argument hits a little close to home.
Yeah, they hit on all the things that make you uncomfortable about relationships and like uncomfortable about travel, and it's just like, ugh, like I just felt like I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this show. Like I don't really want to watch it, but I stuck with it, and the ending was just like, oh wow, I kind of saw it coming, but I didn't see it coming, and it just kind of ends, and you're just like, huh, that was worth it.
I'm on episode 4 right now, I think. The two dudes are alone for the night, and those Italian chicks are great. They're hilarious. Like they're such naturals acting. They look like they're just having a good time all the time, man. I'm like, this looks like a party right here. That's the one thing about the show. Like there are some good elements. Like it all seems very realistic. Like I don't know the way that people talk to each other, a lot of it, but it's all realistic in a awkward way, in a way that makes you cringe a little bit.
Well, if you're getting to the point where the two guys are alone, it gets real cringy. Like you just feel bad for everybody involved, kind of like it just feels painful to watch. Like you just feel like not like you feel their pain because it may or may not relate to you, but like you feel their pain just because it's watching like relationships kind of go off track in these uncomfortable places, and you're like, ugh, God, I would hate to do that on it. I don't know. And what's her name is fantastic. Stifler's mom.
Oh yeah. Oh man, now you forget her name.
Her character is just. You'll see.
I like her in it. I've never seen a character quite like her on shows. Like she's just goofy,
Yeah,
and not mean, but kind of mean by accident,
Yeah, they kind of work they just work her character perfectly through the story, and you'll see.
She's about to get some action, I think.
Oh, you'll see. Oh, you'll see. You will see.
Stifler's mom.
If you haven't seen White Lotus and you like pain and suffering while watching shows, but has a decent ending, I recommend it.
When I first saw American Pie, Jennifer Coolidge, good job. Mm-hmm. She looked to me like she does now. Stifler's mom.
And it could be that we're getting older too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like your
parents. The same age, but she looked old then. I know she didn't probably, but she looks anyway.
You know how like your parents always look how they look, regardless. Like if you think over time, you're like, they always just are my parents. I don't know. Anyways, another one that was really good that never got any. I think it was called The Night of. It was.
Oh, that was
It was about a taxi driver.
Who was in that?
No, I don't think anybody famous.
Seth Rogen? No.
No, it
Anthony
was just
Mackie?
about a taxi driver that like ended up hooking up with this girl, and then she brutally murdered, and they blame him because he was
Oh,
involved.
HBO. Yeah, I saw that. Never mind. I saw that.
Yeah,
Riz
dude, I
Ahmed.
love that. That was really dark. It was great.
Yeah, Omar's in the jail. HBO's funny with that. Michael Imperioli's in the White Lotus.
Yeah.
It takes me out of it a little bit. The shows are so good, it doesn't, I guess, but it could. Like, oh, look, there's Michael. You
Yeah.
know, he's here. And Omar's in everything. Omar's,
Well, Omar died.
yeah, he's not in anything anymore.
No, R.I.P.
You
But
watch, you're going to do a face, what is that called? A deep fake on, just have Omar be in everything.
yeah,
Michael
maybe.
K. Williams, great actor,
I
no
wouldn't, I
disrespect.
wouldn't be mad about that.
Yeah, yeah, right?
That would be all right. They need a deep fake Chris Farley. Bring him back. That would be awesome.
Ah, yeah, man. I mean, part of me wonders if they are. I think they are like James Earl Jones, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if they just have him, or I wonder if they're perfecting his voice as Darth Vader so they can just have a computer do it. You know what I mean? Having him record lines, maybe, or whatever.
Just type it in.
We're
As
gonna
long
do
as
Star
it-
Wars
as
forever,
long as
you
it
know.
doesn't read lines like my maps things do when I'm going somewhere. You know, and they just mess the words all up. You're like, what the hell is that? That's not
Yeah.
even right.
Maybe they just have him read all sorts of lines, like Luke, don't put that lightsaber in his butt. You know, just everything. We don't know what it's gonna be, James Earl. You know, we don't know where it's gonna go.
Well, to be fair, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough, Bill.
Don't turn it on.
Jesus. That would be lights out. That's what they call that maneuver. Lights on, lights out. All right,
Lights-
moving on. What else we got? I love unscripted shows. This is great. We don't even have a script. We can talk about whatever we want. What do you got?
There are no rules. All right, I do have some things. We were talking about movies, so I'll talk about real quick. Quick show and tell, an LA story early. James
Oh.
Cameron, who loves the Titanic, as you know,
Yeah.
shot a special live at the Titanic. And I used to be cool. We had a host that was up on the boat, and it was a live shot. It started with him saying, "Hey, I'm John Burke, and I'm here above the Titanic." Blah 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 blah. James Cameron's however many thousand feet below. James, are you there? Hey, John. And it didn't really end up working out that well, the special, because the signal got cut. But he made me this souvenir for the four of us that worked at our company. That's a regular sized coffee cup that went to the freaking Titanic on the side of a submersible, maybe with James Cameron in it. And he wrote, "Bill, this cup," not James Cameron, the guy that went, "this cup has been to the Titanic, 7/23/05."
Wow. Have
Look at
you
that
tried
little
to
thing.
drink anything out of it? Look at that little guy.
I love this thing too much. My wife makes fun of me like, "You
Put that thing
showing
in a
me?"
case.
What's that?
Put that thing in a case, dude.
I know, right? I thought about it at Michael's. I always see these baseball cases.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No.
Yeah.
Avatar's out. You going to see
In
it?
a bag? You keep it in a Ziploc bag. I hope you put it in like a case or something. I don't think anybody's buying it. That just says Bill's travel things. It's something you know what I thought was stupid? The little cups to drink the mouthwash out of.
Mouthwash?
Mouthwash.
Yeah, I know. I don't use any cups. There's
Sorry,
no cup
Joe.
in my
Joe,
sink,
man.
in my bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Water.
There's
Wash.
water.
You say wash. There's a
I
R
say
in there.
water, but I used to say water. Okay, so enough of that. Spotify year-end lists are out for the users. Like I got mine. Are you on Spotify?
I'm Apple Music. Sorry.
Okay. Do you get year-end reviews of what you listen to?
Yeah, it just said I listened to this podcast. I was like our only listeners. So.
Yeah, I listen to an SNL podcast with Dana Carvey and David Spade and a lot, and Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard. I just love old wrestling stories. Wrestling is so crazy that I love it. I love the story. I didn't even watch wrestling that much in my life. I love the stories.
I tried to. This was my idea, and somebody's probably going to steal it now because it's going to get out on the internet. But I was trying to this weekend splice together presidential debate questions with wrestler.
Oh, right.
answers. And the hardest part is that the angle was always shot with like the candidate in there, or they would say their name. So they would be like,
All right.
Miss Clinton, Mr. Trump, Mr. Reagan, and then I just tried. I couldn't.
You could
find
voice
it.
up like Mr. Macho Man.
Well, what we need to do is we'll do one where we're asking the questions, and then you don't even know the Macho Man. something like that, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like, Mr. Flair, what do you say about people when they're concerned about your extravagant lifestyle, you know? And then we could just find one of his clips, like, you know.
On the airline, whatever he says,
High flying, Rolex wearing.
From what I hear, you don't want to be in the air with Ric Flair. If you've seen that, the Flight from Hell or something special on Vice or Netflix or something, did you see that?
Mm-mm.
I think Ric Flair got a little handsy. I think with the ladies, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. There was one I found where he was talking about, like, you'll be hurting from spending the night with us, walking funny the next day. I was like, God damn, Rick.
Exactly.
Chill out, dude. Can't talk like that.
It's my character.
Yeah, I'm acting. Yo. Gabagool. Hey,
I'm going off the top rope, lady. Go. Hey, so great Macho Man story. Jake the Snake was the story was he was gonna bite Randy Savage, his snake. What's his snake's name anyway? And so Savage was like, you know, he said he was cool with it, but he was like, listen, brother, if you're gonna do it to me, I gotta see that snake bite you. I do a terrible Savage. I thought I was gonna do a good one, but so basically. He says to Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake says it's poison. There's no poison in it. It's not venomous. Savage makes him. He has the snake bite him on his ass, and Jake the Snake said, having a snake bite you when you're not in the middle of a match, when you're not, you know, he's been bitten before, but not with no adrenaline. He said Savage just sat there and watched the snake bite Jake on the ass for proof.
Wow.
See, wrestling's crazy.
Wrestling is it is like if you think about wrestling, like I appreciate the art. It is an art, and like there's like, can you imagine like you're a writer and you get hired to write for wrestling, and they say, all right, Bill, here's your job. You need to write storylines that are constantly intertwining and they never end. And
Building,
going up and down the ladder of success in this organization.
Building to pay-per-views, you know, it's an art.
And everyone knows what you're writing is not real, but everybody also believes it's real. So
and they love it. It's got to be amazing being a wrestler.
Yeah, it's got to be like amazing and awful at the same time.
One thing I thought was a great story from wrestling, or I'd always heard that when you go to a wrestling school, they stretched you for meaning they beat the crap out of you basically for a few weeks, and until they thinned out the herd, until there were only a few left. And I used to think like that was for just to see who was tough and who was going to make it, but no, it is really like, who are we willing to tell the wrestling's fake, right? Only people that go through. So these people that go through, a lot of these people, Stone Cold Steve Austin went to wrestling school. He calls it not smartened up. He didn't know wrestling was fake. Okay? That I heard him say that on a podcast. So these people go and they think it's real, and they go through weeks and weeks of punishment, and then they're told, yeah, you can be part of our school for sure. It's not real. Everything's fake. You know what I mean? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's back in the day when the people thought it was real.
Oh, okay. You lost me there for a minute. I was
so basically, you go in thinking it's real as a kid. You're 18 years old. You go through 3 weeks of just the worst. They don't teach you anything. They just put you through calisthenics and basically beat you up. They don't show you anything. And then you're like, awesome, I'm going to be a wrestler. I think I'm going to dominate. I think I have these good skills. And they go, no, son, you're in, but it's fake. So it's all predetermined. You know, it's like Scientology, like Leah Remedy said when she finally read, she got 2 years later, the story of Scientology, she was able to read it, and she was like, I can't believe I wasted all these years. You know, it's like I wasted 3 weeks on a fake sport.
Well, you know, it's like, it would be like doing boot camp and then finding out the military isn't real. Yeah, those wars are just staged. Nobody dies. You're fine. You'd be like, what?
But you can't just tell anybody it's fake right at the beginning, right?
No. Well, there's a really cool snippet of like the Ultimate Warrior when he was like a part of one of those things, and he's just like, I think he starts screaming at like these young kids that are trying to do it and talking about like shitting in holes and stuff.
You said that.
I said that to you. It's great. Yeah. It's great. Anyways,
I found this fascinating. Have you read anything about Megan Thee Stallion and this Tory Lanez shooting incident?
No, I don't even know what a Megan Thee Stallion is.
Okay. Megan Thee Stallion is a rapper. She's had some hits. I forget the name of it. That
If
dirty
they're
one.
hits and you can't think of them, they're not really hits.
I can never think of them. No, wasn't one of my favorite songs. But anyway, she's riding in a car with this guy, Tory Lanez, who's I believe he's a rapper. The fascinating part of the story is coming.
Name is Tory?
What's that?
The guy's name is Tory?
Yeah. And so evidently she's in the car with a friend and she's kind of making fun of his music a little bit. I don't know if they're romantic at this point. I don't know if they've ever dated. I don't know anything. All I know is this, that I found just hilarious in a terrible way. So he gets fed up with him, has her get out of the car with her friend, and while the door's open, he says, "Dance, bitch!" And like he's in the Wild West, shoots at their feet.
Wow, that's the most gangster thing I've ever heard.
That guy's watched too many movies, dude.
I didn't know people still did that, man. That's
Nobody's
wild.
ever done that in real life, have they?
I don't know, dude. Well, apparently they have. Did she get injured?
She caught some shots, yeah, fragments, I think.
Wow.
And that's not funny.
No, that's not funny, but that is bizarre.
The fact that Tory Lanez used that, though, is in some way, I can't explain it, it's funny in some way.
Yeah, I feel like that's something you would see on Who Framed Roger Rabbit or something.
Oh, we have a visitor.
Who's that?
It's impromptu.
Whoa,
I'm on the phone.
hey,
How can we
quick
do
question
this?
for you, Bill.
Because you
Did you know that?
Are gonna see me.
look.
Hi, Murph.
Did you know? Hi, Katie. Bye, Katie.
baby.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill. Did you know that Applebee's are still a thing? I saw a commercial for Applebee's, and I would have thought that they closed like years ago.
This is no, I didn't know there was still a thing. We have one near us, eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Bye, honey.
I don't. Bye,
True
Katie.
story. This is how much I thought about Applebee's. I got a gift card to Applebee's, and I went. Okay, no, I got a gift card to Applebee's. I ruined the story, and I went to Ruby Tuesdays, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really read the card. I go to Ruby Tuesdays. I get just the $25 worth of stuff because it was $25, and I go to hand them the card, and they're like, "You can't use this here," and I'm like, "You don't participate or what? You're not one of the participating stores?" And they're like, "No, sir, this is for Applebee's. We're Ruby Tuesdays." And I was like, "Oh shit, you guys are different." Like I didn't even really, I don't frequent those much.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
I worked
salad
at
bar
a Ruby
guy.
Tuesdays. I worked at a Ruby Tuesdays for like, I don't know, a couple of weeks when I was a young lad. It wasn't that great. It's like, it's just like corporate mind bending stuff where they just like, they want you to buy in on this, on the theme of the restaurant. Like you're part of a team. Like, come on, dude. I'm just
Look
here
at
to
these
make
pictures on the wall of coaches.
Yeah, customer service is
The neighborhood.
our number one
If
pinnacle.
do you want to be a
You're
good
an
neighbor?
Applebee's.
I worked in.
People, if you're coming into an Applebee's, you've probably made some bad life choices. One of them being going into the Applebee's.
Well,
and
they're
two,
not terrible. They're not
Come
terrible. I
on,
realize I've had a
man.
few meals, but my
come
palates.
on, there's plenty of mom and pop like real restaurants
Sure.
out there.
Sure,
But
valid
you know
point.
what? Scary thing is there's parts of America where they don't have these good mom and pop restaurants. Where we are close to culture and society where an Applebee's is a good time. It's eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah, man. I worked at a Lone Star, and I realized years after that they were basically trying to make us alcohol pushers. Like every night, it would be like, "Hey, who's been pushing this? Who's been pushing? How many drinks did you sell? You got to push the alcohol." Like, really, is that allowed? Is that supposed to happen? You know what I mean?
don't know. Yeah, no, I've been in there. I've been in that game where they like, all right, whatever you do, you want to recommend these bottles of wine. Well,
Yeah.
people don't know any better. I mean, who really knows the difference in wine? Wine is a scam, I think.
I was a horrible waiter.
You just say things like, "Oh, it has a great bouquet." I get hints of whatever you want to make up, and people are like, yeah,
It's dry.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah."
Oak barrels, even if it's not, just say oak barrels.
Very oak. You can get the hint of you get a slight hint of the barrel.
If you notice,
Earthy.
in the nose.
Yeah. Deep plums and plumes.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. I love this unscripted show. It's great. We even had a special guest. Katie came by.
It's right, appeared right behind me. Got her coat.
She loves to steal your sunshine, Bill. She's watching. She just wants to be on the show so bad.
I know she's been keeps trying to ask like I know a little bit about this. Can I be on? I'm like, Katie, you're not a star. You're not a star.
Well, she's never going to be if you keep holding her down, Bill, and won't let her on the show. I say next week's interview is Katie.
All right. We didn't talk. We got away from the Spotify, and I have a reason why I wanted to talk about it, and it's a terrible reason, and I shouldn't bring it up, but I'm just dumb. I like to bring things up. I listened to a lot of the band. They were maybe my number 2 artist, and some other artists, but my number 1 is not very popular right now. It's Kanye West, and it said I was in the 0.1% of listeners this year of Kanye West.
Wow.
Now, I don't agree with anything he's doing, but I'm sorry. I like his music. I got to do it early before he went crazy. What can I say?
No, I used to listen to Kanye West a while ago, but I don't think I'm in 0.01% elite level. Basically, Kanye West may be sleeping on your couch next week. He'll just call Spotify and say, "Hey, no one will take me in. Give me the names of the 0.1% listeners."
Yeah. He calls us all.
All right, but you've got 3 listeners, Kanye, and one's Bill, and he lives in Pennsylvania. Good enough for me.
I would get him straightened out, dude. No, he's nuts, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't straighten out a man that wears a mask over his face.
I think he needs a friend, like an actual friend, Not that I could be that friend, but he seems like now I think he's abandoned them all probably. He's pissed them all off. So, whatever. He has great music.
Be on the show, and now you're asking to be best friends with Kanye. There's a lot of desperation going on here, Bill.
Kanye, call me. 0.1% of listeners right here. I mean, how many people could that be? How many people are on Spotify?
That's got to be you and one other person. Kanye's friend or agent, maybe.
Me and Kanye. He's listening to himself constantly.
Yeah, you are competing with him. All right, my camera's going to be shaking because my dog just came down, and he's very happy to see me. He's bumping the table.
Everybody wants to be on the show.
Dude, it is great. Well, it's the holiday show. Speaking of holidays, best Christmas gift you ever got? Go, as a kid.
Probably the Super Nintendo. Well, I don't know if I got Nintendo for Christmas.
I did too. What was that? 1989? Was that?
1989? It had the robot with it.
Oh wow, dude, you were rich.
Gyromite.
I just had the regular, and it came with Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers, and you would have thought like we had just been transported to the future at my house.
It was a cool day.
Oh, dude, every family member wanted to try it. I remember my uncle, and my dad, they were shooting ducks, But number one gift for me was I got one year. I can't remember how old I was, but I got the G.I. Joe spaceship set. Where it closed. It was the massive space shuttle with the little space shuttle on top.
I can't believe you said that, and I'll tell you why. Go ahead and tell us about it.
No, that thing was awesome. I had that forever. There's probably still bits and pieces of it at my dad's house.
I almost said, well, the best present I ever got, I didn't get to use because we got it. We tried to put it together. It was broken. We got it again. We were missing a part, and my dad went, "We're returning it," and it was the space shuttle.
Oh, dude! I got to look how well I turned out, Bill. This could have been you.
It's been a tough life ever since.
Dude, your life went downhill. You could be living in my life if you.
Murph, tell me about this thing. What could you do in this thing? I didn't even get to...
All right. So, first of all, the spaceships connected together, right? Or you could flip the lever and they would separate. So imagine you're playing with the spaceships, and then you could be like, all right, we're taking off into orbit. Bam, disconnect. You could open them up. The one thing had like a little arm that would like hold the guy. Then it would all fit together and slide back in, and both the doors would wrap around it. And it had wheels. You could push it around. Dude, it was awesome.
Dude, I would G.I. Joe forever.
Flip open the big part of the spaceship, and it had like an internal thing where the guys could
I bet it did.
Dude, it was amazing. Now that I know you didn't have one, maybe I'll have to find one on eBay and send it to you.
I should get one. I was a big G.I. Joe guy. The other one was the hovercraft. I don't even know if I asked for that one. That was another big item. Remember that? I mean, not the hovercraft. I was thinking about Cutter and the hovercraft. The aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I did not have the aircraft carrier, but my friend down the street did. So, between the two of us, we had G.I. Joe locked down.
You guys were just rocking it, dude.
Dude.
That's amazing. I love G.I. Joe. Loved it.
That's the thing. I don't know that gifts are that awesome these days. Kids, it's all about technology. They just didn't get something where, you entertained yourself with it.
I've noticed also the trend in gifts is I don't know what it is. It's a blind gift, and the most fun part is opening it because the gift is so, but the way you open it is like you do twist levers and spin things and then pull things apart, and then it's open, and then you go, okay, it's this dumb doll I didn't want, but you had fun opening it.
I would say I have like an 85% accuracy rate on guessing what a gift is.
Yeah,
Yeah, and if you want to challenge it and send me gifts, feel free.
probably.
I'm not getting you anything, but
This one's from a weird uncle. What's that from?
Yeah.
I've quoted 2 movies today.
Uh,
Probably from a weird uncle. Oh no, he says what it is, right? Or weird aunt. It's Wedding Crashers. I think I messed it up.
Oh, Bill.
He's like, this one's a massage set or something. Probably from they should make a Wedding Crashers too if they're going to make movies like this.
Why don't we write that script?
I don't think they're going to do it. I think they decided not to.
We need to write a script.
I only have one more thing.
Go ahead.
You know how people say
All
Die
right.
Hard is a Christmas movie?
Yeah, I watched it last Christmas with my son.
I don't know how I feel about that whole
It
statement.
didn't feel very Christmassy after watching
I would
it.
say it's not. But is Home Alone a Christmas movie? Because when you ask people their favorite Christmas movies, they never say Home Alone. But Home Alone is probably my favorite if I think about it as a Christmas movie, but I don't.
I love Home Alone, and you know what? I never thought about it not being referenced as a Christmas movie. I must have watched it about 8 gazillion times on VHS.
It takes place at Christmas. The house is dressed up, and it has a Christmas theme in it. Like every room's red or green.
Mm-hmm.
And it has some good messages, like the guy who meets up with his son, reconnects, and blah, blah, blah. But nobody really mentions it as their favorite Christmas movie.
No, I don't know that I really have a favorite Christmas movie. I did like Scrooged a lot with Bill Murray. That was a good one.
Yeah, I got to see them again. I'm an Elf guy. People like or hate Elf, love it or hate it. I like Elf a lot.
I've never seen Elf all the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, does that make me a bad person?
I don't really care to watch Christmas movies that often, so.
I mean, Christmas Story by far, hands down, number one.
That's
I'd
number
say.
2 for me. Like Elf and Christmas Story would be 1 and
What do you
2.
have
Then
number one?
Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah, Christmas Vacation. That's a good one. They haven't really put out any good, solid Christmas movies. But also, like, think about it, and we're getting sappy here. But like, people don't watch movies like they used to. Like a Christmas movie, like it would be like, oh, what are we gonna do? It's Friday. Oh, I got a movie from the movie store. Now it's just like I can stream whatever I want. I tried to stream a Christmas movie the other day with my daughter, and I think I got like 5 minutes into it, and it was too much singing. I just turned it off.
Yeah, I watched this movie Spirited with Ryan Gosling and Will Ferrell. Not Ryan Gosling, Ryan Reynolds.
I got like 5 minutes into it, and it was like, it didn't even seem like the script made sense in the beginning. I was just like, well, this sucks.
Yeah. No offense to people that liked it, but I did not. What a weird premise.
Yeah.
And that's it for me, son.
That's it. That's it. That's all we got. We talked about Applebee's. We talked about everything. I feel like that's a good way to end.
Better than Ruby Tuesday. No, wait. Better than Bottomless Fries. Who are those people? 14-ounce draft. Red Robin, 14-ounce drafts.
Salad bar.
Red Robin's Bottomless Fries.
And the
Anyway, I didn't need to bring that up. Let's go. Let's wrap it up. Ready, go.
All right, well, that's it for us, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Sharing is caring, especially around the holiday season. And if we don't see you before the holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Is there any holidays we forgot?
We'll see him before New Year's.
Yeah, maybe. All right.
New Year's blowout next week. There we go. Everybody, thank you for listening. I'll see you later.